Young Junk!
What's up to all our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? Anybody on the other side of that camera lens? Welcome to the CultPop podcast. Say it 3 times, get it twice.
If you say it 3 times, it's going to show up in your living room.
That's actually, yeah. And then we have to scream studio to get
go home.
Yeah.
Episode 93, where we talk about movies, TV, comics, trickster demons, and all other things that scratch that nerdy itch. We're coming to you alive from the Young Junk Studios. Young Junk HQ, a bomb-ass podcasting production space here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm not the host.
Today you are. The host with the most?
Chew on a dog now.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Chew on a dog now?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
I'll eat anything you want me to eat. I'll swallow anything you want me to swallow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm your co-host, Noel. Joining me tonight is JD.
Hi.
Of
Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex,
Located
at 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA 19127. It's a rad-ass comic shop.
I understood that you cater to nerds and nerd-adjacent individuals of all shapes and sizes for all of their
all sizes.
nerd and nerd-adjacent needs.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
When I say Alice's name, I'm inclined to do this. Alice is here as well.
I am here.
Also with us in the booth is our trusty producer, Dylan. Not Dylon, Dylan. Still the best producer that's ever existed.
Dylan, I have a question.
I mean, he's not near a mic.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'll wait.
But we'll wait for that question.
How you doing?
Well, we're gonna get to Dylan in a second, but I do want to say thank you for coming here tonight with us. For tonight's main topic.
Sorry.
All right, you know what? Screw you.
Just the way you said the sentence made it sound dirty.
Thank you for being here with us tonight. Is that better?
That's right. You sassy bitch. Oh, speaking of which.
Thanks for being with us tonight, guys. For tonight's main topic, we're actually going to discuss the legacy sequel.
Yeah.
And legacy sequel.
Yes.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, I want to thank everybody for being here live with us. If you like us, if you're enjoying the conversation we're having, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, jump into the chat, and send all of your vitriol at JD. He's got the thinnest skin, so it'll be the most fun.
Yeah.
And even if you're not seeing this live, you're watching this when you're watching it, jump in the comments anyway. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. You can also email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com.
That's correct. We already got some people in the chat, some people that we are married to and or engaged with.
Yes. Speaking of, I need to give Costa a shout out that I promised. I realized I forgot my prop for this episode, and Costa ran it down the street for me so that I could have it.
How many blocks?
Wait, did he run?
So many.
He literally ran it?
So many blocks.
Or did he drive?
Sprinting. He walked.
Oh.
He walked.
Where would he go, Costa?
He was sprinting. He was sweating. No, just kidding. He walked. But it was nice. I got to see him and say hi because I haven't seen him all day because we both worked late.
And Sam's in the chat saying, that's more relevant today than I'd like it to be. I'll eat anything you want me to eat. I'll swallow anything you want me to swallow. But come on down and I'll chew on a dog.
Yeah.
My God. I just got it. Last night, the debate. They're eating dogs and cats?
Yeah, that's right.
What
we're all different. We all witnessed a murder last night.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was actually when I was the first Beetlejuice came out. That was actually one of my favorite bits in the entire movie. Like, you don't see him in totality until that TV commercial where he's a cowboy. Just that dance. When I was like 8 or 9, I would actually do the
little dance.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff.
I love that. I love that fun fact about Noel.
Speaking of emails, we got one. We got letters?
We have letters.
Oh, we've got
lots of letters.
We have one letter from Christopher
Write us more
St.
so we can do the plural.
That's true. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
He emailed us a 1-sentence email.
Yeah.
But it's very important. Rip John Cassaday. Or R.I.P. I don't have much to say, but R.I.P. to one of the artists that got me into comics. I'll always love this cover. And then he sent us a screenshot of Astonishing X-Men number 6, which is the gorgeous cover. I wish I can't throw it up, but it's basically Kitty Pryde and Cyclops, and they're in embrace, but she's like melting through him because she's intangible.
Colossus.
It's very cool. What'd I say?
Cyclops.
Colossus. They both begin with
Yeah, Cyclops, it's like the only character she's not been shipped with. So, yeah.
And Christopher's in the chat saying, is there a fresh floppies coming? Great question. Yes, there is. We recorded it. It's ready to go. I just haven't posted it yet.
So yes, it's coming. And you know what will be better when we record those? We'll be better about not saying tonight, tomorrow, just this week.
Yeah.
It will always be new in the week because sometimes it's Tuesday, sometimes it's Thursday. Sorry about that. But yeah, John Cassaday. John Cassaday is one of my favorite comic book artists, a wonderful, wonderful artist. He died at the age of 52 the other day from mysterious causes, but not surprising causes. So apparently everyone knew it was time to say goodbye.
Oh, thank God. Good.
But it has still happened suddenly. Mm-hmm. So I don't, it's not revealed yet what happened, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. He was 52 years old. But he is responsible for Planetary, Astonishing X-Men, Captain America. Every image you see of like modern Captain America being dope is probably a John Cassaday cover. Yeah. He's up there with Alex Ross in redefining modern comics.
Oh, television director.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Writer, artist, television director. But yeah, I remember when I first saw him, I don't know, was it Astonishing X-Men? Was this the first big one? Or was it one of the Wildstorm Johns?
Wildstorm was one of the first things, because I remember there's a story that Scott Dunbier, the former editor-in-chief of IDW, had talked about. He broke his heart because he was supposed to do the Wildcats relaunch. And he was like, you can't, but there's this other thing. It's called Planetary. Let me send you the pitch. Yeah.
Listen, if you haven't heard of Planetary, not only is the art amazing by John Cassaday, but the writing is fantastic. It's Warren Ellis. Yeah. One of my, I want to say maybe top 10 limited series. Is that called? Is this just a series, right? Because it went on for quite a while.
25 issues.
Is that a limited series?
Does
that count?
I don't know. I don't know what's limited mean. Yeah, sure, limited series.
It all fits in one omnibus.
Yeah, it was 25 issues. It came out over the course of like 7 years.
One of my all-time favorite stories. And if you haven't gotten to it, it's fantastic. Planetary. Wonderful.
I need to reread it.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the ones that I like. Every so often I'll go back and revisit it because it's so good. And every time I read it, there's something I either didn't notice or kind of forgot about. And I'm like, that was me flipping the page.
So, do it again. or burping a tiny baby.
Yes.
I love
anyway,
this is a visual podcast.
So, thank you so much for writing in, Christopher St. Saucy. Good night. We certainly appreciate it. And R.I.P. Also, James Earl Jones left us this week.
Yeah, Mufasa Vader, Darth Mufasa.
Yeah.
I mean, also EGOT, like an EGOT winner. Incredibly renowned voice of a generation.
Not just Vader. Yeah.
Not just Darth Vader. No.
All right.
Yeah. Hey. CultPoppers?
CultPoppers?
Oh, okay. I'm not in trouble.
What's poppin', Alice?
Well, I watched. Oh my God! I watched a movie that this
good story.
Fine gentleman. Yeah, I watched.
Katie,
a movie.
what's up?
What is poppin'? That's it. I watched a movie that JD has been telling me about since I think as long as I've known him.
Just JD? Had you known about it before?
No.
Before we say what the movie is, you'd never heard about it before?
No, I didn't.
How really do the math quickly in your head? You don't have to say how old you are when you were born. What is the delta between this movie coming out and you being alive?
When did it come out?
87. Well, now anybody could do math. I was trying not to.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, 1987. Because I looked it up. I prep.
Oh, that's what I've been missing this whole time.
I wasn't around for between 5 and 10 years, I'll say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess
I'm
that
just.
tracks.
I'll tell you specifically when. I'm not going to give you
Yeah,
birth year to all
anywhere,
of you.
anywhere between 5 and 10 years. This movie had been around for anywhere between 5 and 10 years before you were a glimmer in your happy parents' eyes.
Yeah.
How did you? What is the movie?
Amazing is what it is. But the reason I learned about it is because I went to JD Shaw because I spend all my money there, and you had a really cool shirt on, and I was like, oh my god, I love that shirt, and you're like, thanks, it's from this movie called The Gate, and I was like, what is that? And you just told me, you're like, you have to watch it.
Yeah. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Fun, spooky, campy, 80s horror that isn't really super scary.
It is
Sam Alice's BB.
the Bay.
No, Chris, I haven't watched Hard Candy yet. I know.
Yeah, it's a hilarious romp. Hard Candy.
Yeah, a feel good of the year.
Yeah,
real
it's just
feel-good
like,
movie there.
hey, what's your mood? 0 to Hard Candy.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I agree with Sam. It was just so much fun. It's everything that I love about classic 80s horror movies.
It's is it? Would it be considered Wet Puppet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
would say
Wet
Wet
Puppet.
Puppet.
It's Wet Puppet.
Wet Puppet
and
horror?
Wet Puppet and claymation.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Love
the
that.
the
See,
solid
that's what
stop
I
motion.
love. I love all the Wet Puppets practical effects.
So, the Gate, 1987, directed by Tibor Takacs. Takacs. I looked up his filmography. He's responsible for The Gate, The Gate 2,
Oh, I didn't know there was another one.
and then a butt ton of direct-to-video like monster movies, like Spiders, Spider 2, Frozen Tornado, like just
Those are like.
Hold on.
That's my bread and butter, though.
The Christmas Aunt, The Christmas Aunt, The Secret Ingredient, A Christmas Miracle, Memories of Christmas, It's Christmas Eve,
so.
Rocky
Why
Mountain
does that
Christmas.
sound like a question?
Because it's Christmas, Eve. It's Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Eve is,
Yeah.
I'm assuming, a character in this
person.
Christmas film.
Yeah.
Now, so what I'm first of all, Sam, you said don't bother with Gate 2. We'll get to that in the chat. If anything, he is probably the most gainfully employed filmmaker ever
Yeah,
because
he's killing it.
he's crushing the Hallmark Channel. He
love
has
that for him.
Lacey Chabert and on his speed dial.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But
Can I also just say, I watched this movie one morning. I woke up before Costa and I was just bored and I was like scrolling on Amazon. I saw it was there and I was like, I'm going to watch this so that I can talk about it with JD finally. So it's like 7 a.m. and I'm watching this movie. Costa wakes up like an hour later and he comes like mid one of like the really weird scenes. Like there's some creature coming out of the floor and he's like still waking up and he's like, is this Poltergeist? What are you watching? It had like poltergeisty vibes and he's like, is this Poltergeist? I don't think it's Poltergeist. And I'm like, no, it's The Gate. It's beautiful.
similar story. This is gateway horror.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
yes.
This is like and
Gate.
It's for kids.
when I was the right age, it was this and Monster Squad. I prefer Monster Squad, but this is definitely.
I prefer
like,
The Gate.
The Monster Squad's so good.
So hold on.
two.
So what's The Gate? I'll tell you.
Oh,
kids,
sorry, yeah, I
Kids
haven't
left a home alone accidentally unleash a horde of malevolent demons from a mysterious hole in their suburban backyard. How do they do it, you ask? I'm so glad. Heavy metal albums.
Of
And you
course.
play them backwards, and it opens up a gate to hell in your backyard. Shut up about it. That's how it works. Them's the rules.
Yeah.
couple-
Obviously, everyone.
Back off.
It's great. It's a great movie. It's you'll look it up and you'll see like, oh, a 37% Rotten Tomato score. Shut up.
Don't
Yeah,
talk about
wrong.
it.
It's
Watch
great.
it.
I fucking love it.
A couple years ago, I think it was like a random Saturday or something, I had forgotten about The Gate 2. I remember renting it forever ago, like when I was younger, and saw that it was on Prime. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on The Gate 2. Like a Saturday morning, Sam made her way into the room and was like, what is this? I was like, it's The
Was
Gate.
she a sloth?
Yeah.
Just
Well,
slowly.
it took 25 minutes
Nailing.
for her to get from the kitchen, just like she's slowly making it into the room.
But you heard her coming the whole time.
Yeah, she was
On the
actually
way.
just dragging her back half with her knuckles across the floor.
Leaving a snail trail.
Yeah, just a trail.
What's his name? I almost said Miyazaki. Never mind. I ruined it.
I was thinking more like The Fly.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like Jeff Goldblum. Anyway,
Junji Ito.
I love you. I love you, Sam.
Love you, Sam.
She
love you too,
she finally made it into the room.
Yes. Yeah.
And was like, what the hell is this? It's The Gate 2.
Oh.
I didn't know they made a sequel. I'm like, yeah, let's jump in. It's the same actor. The best friend is the main star. The kid with the
Okay, I was
glasses.
gonna ask. Yeah, the
3 years
metalhead.
later-
Metalhead,
The
yeah.
metalhead
3
friend.
years later, he's a teenager now, and the other character is Pamela Adlon. If you remember from lots and lots of TV with Louis C.K.
Oh.
She's the teenage girl. She's like
Well,
the
now
love
I gotta
interest.
watch it. I
Yeah.
love her.
But it's
Despite forgetting her name.
basically they capture one of the minions
Mm-hmm.
and then make wishes from it. And then the wishes turn into shit. Literally, they turn into shit. Like, I'm going to wish for a car, and it turns into, like, shit with...
Like actual shit.
Yeah, like actual
Like,
poop
okay.
everywhere.
Like actual
and then
matter. Okay.
things transpire from there. But it was actually not that bad.
Okay.
It's wet puppet dumb.
Now that I
I
know that
love Wet
Pamela
Puppet.
Adlon's in it, I gotta watch
It's not as charming, but it's like, this is a solid-ass direct-to-video movie.
That's pretty funny. I like a good direct TV bad horror movie.
It's
or
bad.
Like
That's a great question. You know,
Oddly
I don't.
watchable.
Did this come out in the theater? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was like a theater release, theatrical
But
release.
I was watching. I had watched it in forever. I was watching the trailer before the show tonight, just to like become
Yeah.
reacquainted. I forgot how many just memory making sequences are in this movie for me.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Core
this was
memories,
one of those
yeah.
movies.
Core memory.
I was 5 or 6 when this came out.
Oh man.
I remember watching this, like afraid to watch it, but couldn't stop watching it. So I remember core memory of the phone melting, of
that was a good bit.
of the body falling down and then turning into a bunch of minions.
Still-
or the arm like turning into a bunch of slugs under the door.
Yeah.
Like that shit is so ingrained in my soul.
You know what stuck with me when it was like he thought it was his dad and he went to like hug him at first,
my God.
and then he like
You've been bad.
and he like smushes his face in his hands. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
there is. I will tell you, a dog dies. So just so you know,
It's fine. The dog
Yeah.
was mean.
I know
Evil.
people. I know people that you want to know if the dog
yeah.
dies. There's a whole website dedicated to it.
Yeah, Costa introduced me to that website. They also tell you if a cat dies.
Oh, nice.
And you can check on the cats too.
So I'm so glad. So you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm
It
so
was
glad.
charming is a good word for it.
Yeah,
Charming.
it's a really charming flick.
That's one of those ones that I was delighted to see that it was on Amazon. Like, I think I just rented it on Amazon.
Somewhere.
Yeah. And I think I ordered them to DVD. And then I don't know if it was Fright Rags, but one of those t-shirt companies did a Gate t-shirt. And I was like immediately ordering it.
I
And-
just ordered 5.
yeah. And I didn't bring it with me. You brought a prop. I meant to bring my Gate t-shirt because I knew you were going to talk about this.
Yeah.
I also have the album that when you play it backwards opens the gate to hell.
You've
can't believe-
opened the gate to hell and you're just telling us now?
I mean,
That's-
that's not his son.
I need to know.
You've met him.
All right, I need to know the date you
Him
opened the
with
gate
an
to hell. So I can
capital H.
Backtrack exactly where everything went wrong.
Oh, yeah. I'm the collider.
Sam jumped in the chat. She says, yeah, she disagrees with all communication prior to 10 a.m. So, yeah, she did slug into the room.
Yeah.
We don't really communicate before caffeine.
Also in the chat, a little bit earlier, Christopher St. Saucy Goodnight said, I just got the Planetary Omnibus and I'm reading it tonight.
Yeah, you know what?
pretty dope.
I'm trying to. It moved up since he passed. It moved up to my list of like need to read it soon.
Yeah.
After I finish the Spider-Man, I'm reading.
Which Spider-Man?
I'm trying to finish JMS's run.
Oh, well,
I mean,
you started that like 4 years ago.
well, I mean, I read that the first half
That's what I mean.
forever ago, and
The good half.
and then I stopped halfway through the second volume. I'm in all of the Civil War stuff, and everyone told me it's so good in the Civil War stuff because you get more like, it's really boring.
Oh, is it?
It's hella dry.
Oh.
Like it's a lot of moral it's basically JMS is going out of his way to explain why Peter Parker would make such a
Would do
stupid
this,
decision
yeah.
that Mark Miller
Made him do. Yeah.
It's boring.
Bummer.
Anyway, yeah,
Anyway,
Planetary.
so the Gate. Okay, great.
Gate.
Hey,
Recommend.
hey, Noel.
If you like fun, campy, wet puppets in the 80s, do it.
Even if you don't, just do it.
Do it anyway.
No, for you, I have this question.
Is this a new one? We gotta stretch out.
I just think
What
to
was
touch my
popping
nose
for you
to
this
it.
week?
Zits. No, a couple of weeks ago, you asked me to watch Green Room, which is a movie that I know is on everyone's radar, or at least, film Twitter has been talking about it for almost 10 years. Everyone I know and respect is like, this is one of the most surprising movies and I loved it and you should watch it. And for some reason, it either wasn't available to rent or it wasn't on a streaming service, or I had a chance, but I was like, I'll catch it later. And then years went by and I never watched it. I watched the director's other movies, just never watched Green
Blue
Room.
Ruin.
Blue Ruin, Something in the Dark. It was on
Do they
Netflix
do
a couple years ago.
colors on purpose?
I don't think so. Because
Oh,
I
okay.
expected this one would have a color as well if they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I finally saw Green Room,
Another one of my favorites.
and I was underwhelmed.
Yeah. I knew that would happen when you were
Because
telling me about
everyone's
it.
been hyping it up forever, and it really
course.
is just a by the numbers simple movie.
Yeah.
Now, I was very, very excited for his new movie, Jeremy Saulnier, which released on Netflix this past weekend, called Rebel Ridge. Watching Rebel Ridge, I had the experience that everyone told me I'd have watching Green Room.
Nice.
This movie was so fucking good. I've been thinking about it for like the last week. It's so good.
Starring Aaron Pierre, Don Johnson, and Anna Sophia Robb.
It is an incredibly simple movie. You just watch the first 10 minutes. Actually, it's an incredibly simple movie that gets really, really complicated.
Yeah.
You watch
Starts off simple.
the first 5 minutes. A man gets knocked off the road by some cops. Civil forfeiture takes all the money that he has on him because it's a lot, and then he can't do anything about it. You find out the money was actually meant to bail out his cousin who got a possession charge and was now going to end up going to federal instead of a holding pen because they were remodeling the prison. It's like all of these things, and you find out he can't go to federal because something bad will happen. So he desperately needs to get that money back because civil forfeiture, if you don't know about it, is actually a pretty terrible thing. Basically, the cops are allowed to just take your property if it's part of an investigation, and you can't get it back unless you fight for it in court to get back, which will cost you twice as much as what the cost of it is.
Yeah.
So they could seize things. And then you find out that this character is a former Marine who was in charge of training everyone all the things. So it becomes this like Jack Reacher style thing where he's incredibly capable and keeps giving these racist sheriff's office ways out, and they keep not taking them, and then he just kind of has to
Like, well, all
he just
right.
kind of has to fix it.
Okay, here we go.
And the thing about the movie is, much like a movie we're going to talk about later, it is very overstuffed.
Yeah.
This movie starts somewhere and keeps yes-anding the narrative, and it keeps going new places, and you're like, what the fuck is going to happen now? It's like literally could be a season's worth of television.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
But it is so efficient, and it is so emotionally competent that you just, every time he makes a choice, you're like, okay, what's next? And everyone in it is so incredibly good. Don Johnson is the coolest scene-stealing, scenery-chewing, racist piece of garbage that's ever been put on screen.
Which is he was the same guy in Watchmen, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The Watchmen television show.
He didn't get nearly as much.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get as much like shit-eating grin as he gets
that
here.
was-
But if
Watching the standoff, the back and forth, the cat and mouse, if you will, between Aaron Pierre's character and Don Johnson's character is like, that makes, and also his, I guess, deputy, whoever that dipshit guy was.
Yeah.
Watching him just sort of like outsmart those guys and like play this game back and forth and then get outsmarted, and it's really fun to watch.
It's like they're not. Jeremy Saulnier goes out of his way to not make the bad guys one-dimensional.
Yeah.
They're not caricatures. They are also smart and very capable. It's just this guy also has a bag of tricks. So it really does become like a back and forth as opposed to, I'm just going to beat all these racists up.
Yep.
It was so incredibly satisfying. Everyone should watch this movie.
See, now, whereas I had the opposite of you had the opposite of my experience, and then I had the opposite of your experience. So I like Green Room so much that I was, and the trailer for this, I was like, I'm in. Especially the last line. The last line of the trailer had me howling. It's so good. But then when I went in and watched this, I was like, it's not as good as Green Room for me. It is very, very competent. It's very well done. It is riveting. But I found myself getting I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? Why are they doing that? So
It's infinitely more complex than Green Room.
yes, yeah.
So Green Room is
just like a locked room. How do we get out of this kind of thing?
Yeah, and it gets a touch more complicated towards the end with all the drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
But this movie, you can't passively watch it.
Yeah.
Things happen in dialogue that precipitate an entire sequence after that, and you're like, wait, did I miss why they're doing that? You actually have to pay attention. It's a little different. I did think Green Room is a little bit more passive because all of the characters in Green Room were just there all of the characters in this are intentional. All of them have a goal.
That's true.
Like
That's
it is,
true.
it
Not
is a
just
much
whoops.
different story. Like it's a much different kind of movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this scratched so many itches. I think
Nice.
everyone should watch this. Dylan, did you see this yet?
Rebel.
The new Rebel Ridge?
Yeah.
No, I have not. But knowing that it's the same person that did Green Room and Blue Ruin, I definitely want to check it out.
You and your partner need to just like turn off the lights, turn off your phones, just lock into this shit because it's awesome.
My lady's awful at that. She's always on her phone during movies. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, do you care what I pick out right now? She's like, no, I don't care.
I
You know what
Rarely,
movie I
very
bet
rarely.
you she wouldn't have her phone out for? The Little Vampire.
Little Vampire. That is actually 100% true. Like the only thing she doesn't like, she looks off her phone. She's big on TV, so it's like when we watch like Bob's Burgers, King of the Hill,
Love Bob's
and like The Life and Time of Tim's. So like that. Yeah, that's it.
I just remembered the trailer. The thing that you dig, they actually made another trailer that just focuses on that
Oh yeah.
of just nah.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Literally, like it's like almost like a beat where like in between dialogue you just hear nah, and then there's a sequence where he's emptying. He doesn't want to kill anyone,
Yeah.
so he's emptying a shotgun and then throws it at somebody. While he's emptying the cartridges, they just go nah. I'll show you afterwards. It's really great. But
What's the line before that he says now to? He's like, I was going to.
Oh,
I was
just
thinking.
I was thinking we should just like maybe put this aside and cooler heads prevail. And then Don Johnson's about to like,
oh, see, now
that's
you're
the
finally
coolest-
coming around.
and then I was like, nah. And
Then,
then
yeah,
he
but then I
literally
was like,
throws
nah,
the
and he
phone
throws the phone.
and
so
then
good.
proceeds to
That's how I'm
lay
ending
waste to the
phone
world.
conversations from
Yeah.
now on.
Nah.
Every time I talk to you guys on the phone, nah.
It's gonna be a lot of burners.
Ghost is gonna be like, damn it, this is the third one.
You don't have an upgrade, Alice.
We can't keep living like this.
JD, Alice, I would actually just like to talk to Alice about this.
What do you think JD's been?
Oh, I know
All
what it
this-
is. I know what it is, and I'm just gonna stall as much as possible.
Well, she was popping on this too.
Well, we'd all pop on it.
Oh, we were all
We
it
popped
was
it.
a trio of poppitudes. I was popping with Immaculate, 2024 R-rated hour and 29-minute film,
Directed by Michael Mullen.
and written by Andrew Lobel, starring Sydney Sweeney and some other people. Cecilia, a woman of devout faith, is warmly welcomed to the picture-perfect Italian countryside where she is offered a new role at an illustrious convent. But it becomes clear to Cecilia that her new home harbors dark and horrifying secrets. So this for me has been like the month of Catholics bad.
Just a month.
Yeah,
I
right.
would say it's the year of nun horror.
Yeah, nun horror. Yeah. It sounded like you said nun whore. But what was the other one?
The
First
first
Omen.
Omen.
The First Omen. Oh, I love The First Omen. We were both really surprised and
Not-
loved it.
The first movie, The Omen.
The movie, The First
titled
Omen.
The First Omen.
That's right. The prequel to The Omen.
Which I believe is a sequel to the first Vampire or the Littlest Vampire.
The Littlest Vampire.
So it's
is
the-
Richard E. Grant
the
anywhere
littlest-
in this movie?
The Littlest Omen. The firstest little.
So Immaculate is another one of those movies where the church is up to some shenanigans with the women, and
As one does.
I liked
Classic.
the First Omen so much that I was like, well, this isn't gonna beat that, but like, I'll put it on. I like Sydney Sweeney, and it's it's kind of in that vibe right now. And then I found that it is just I feel like it's like boop with the First Omen. I think they are both really solid thrillers that deal with the same subject matter of like Catholics removing a woman's bodily autonomy
Agency
for
for
their
sure.
own purposes. Right?
Not saying which is which, but one does it in a explicit supernatural way, while the other one does it in a high concept science fiction-y kind of way. Both of them, like one wants to bring about evil, the other is doing evil to bring about good.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
The real
it's-
evil is the friends we made.
Yeah, the real evil is the Catholic Church in
But
this fictional scenario.
This is a really good like double feature
Oh, yeah.
And you guys watched it too. What did you think?
I haven't seen First Omen yet.
Oh shit.
But I've seen Immaculate.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney really impressed me with her performance.
Went for it.
There was just a part
Especially
where
at the
she's
end.
just screaming.
Yeah,
the
for a
longest
long
And I'm
time.
like, this had to be so hard
She
to
pulled
just
that-
do over and over
She was-
again.
yeah, her and Channing Tatum worked on that together.
Oh yeah. They were just yelling at each other.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I ultimately I like the First Omen more because I think it's a much more atmospheric and eerie movie.
I could see that.
It also surprised me a lot more than Immaculate did. Like the First Omen straight up shocked me visually and then also just with how well it was.
Yeah.
Immaculate, I kind of had the impression it was going to be good. So like that took a shine off of it. And it was a lot simpler.
Yeah.
I liked them both a way lot, but if somebody was like, "Hey,
Pick one.
it's
got
gonna
it,
be the
gun to
last.
your head.
It's going to be the First Omen."
Yeah.
It's
I'd probably
every
pick the
day.
same
It's going to be
one.
the First Omen, but this was so strong and so well done that I'm like, "Yeah, this is dope."
Yeah.
and also too, the story behind it is wonderful too. Like she read this script years ago, kept it earmarked, really, really wanted to make it. Now that she's got clout, she brought the script back and produced it herself.
That's
Oh,
so
hell
That's
yeah.
cool
cool.
shit.
I
That's
love
cool
that.
shit. Like I like that kind of stuff.
I like a good passion project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not in a masturbatory way when someone's like so about the project that it becomes more about them than the project,
Yeah.
but that sort of story where like this is so good, I want to make sure it happens.
yeah, she wasn't like, especially if your passion projects is like a horror movie. It's not like she's doing Oscar bait.
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fucking horror
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Which is not recognized by awards.
No.
So like, yes, you have to really want this. It was really good. This is a really strong
Very good.
year for horror.
Yeah,
Horror's
it's-
back, baby.
Baby. I've been thinking about our talk about de-escalation. Nah. My dad is not a phone, says Costa.
As I throw another
Little
commercial.
island.
Chris had
Lonely
mentioned
Island reference.
Chris had mentioned the 4:30 movie in the chat. That is a new Kevin Smith movie coming out. It does look really cute. I have no idea if it's playing near us, but we'll check it out.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the main review. Oh, this you're the host. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just helping do the beginning.
Let's move on to our main review.
Before we get,
Oh.
you guys go ahead and vamp before.
Okay. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but she makes an effort to do her makeup in correspondence with the main review.
Makeup and or outfit. I don't always do it.
Oh, you've got the stripes on.
I got stripes.
Nice.
Makeup and or shut up.
Don't you wanta Fanta?
So we are
this
going to
Haunted apple.
We are going to sample the official Beetlejuice Fanta.
Nice.
Live on
Don't
air.
worry about it ruining my lipstick because it's basically the same color.
Yeah, and I did bring a cup for Dylan as well.
Dylan.
Do you want this nasty soda? I mean, this potentially delicious movie tie-in.
So immediately I'm thinking of Ecto Cooler, the Ghostbusters juice box drink.
Taste that good. This official Beetlejuice movie partner Fanta. The flavor is haunted apple, and this Beetlegeist guy is on there.
I like how they're just like, what can we call this? I don't know. Scary.
We got that-
scary apple.
Oh.
No, haunted apple. Sure.
There's
It's not even like a cool play on words.
There's some notes of Jolly Rancher.
Oh, ooh.
It's just melted down
It's gonna
Jolly
be fucking
Rancher.
disgusting. All right, everybody, wait for it. We do this together.
Dead air.
We're gonna let it breathe. No, I didn't say shut up and sit in silence. I was just like, wait for it. Don't drink it yet.
Pink is in the chat saying, I saw The Gate for the first time a couple months ago and was so delighted. I instantly bought the collector's Blu-ray. The sequel was great and I recommend it. There's a
you.
collector's Blu-ray?
Yeah, there's a steelbook at like.
There's a
Walmart.
steelbook?
Yeah.
Pink, send me the link. I didn't know there was a collector's
We need
Blu-ray.
to deliver
Pink,
one to
he's
Dylan.
got Google. It's okay.
All right, I'm gonna-
She's going to run that over to Dylan in the booth.
Can you pass on to her?
Yeah. Look like little Jello shots or something.
So
I feel like-
no matter
These look insane.
no matter how you can you get the
They
bottle.
look crazy
Oh, you know
on
what else it
camera.
is?
Like way
Reanimator
greater
juice.
than real life.
So
I can smell the apple from
Yeah.
here.
Is it before anybody drinks it? Do you want to like smell your intention or like what do you think it's gonna taste like?
Sugar.
It's
It's
straight
gonna-
sugar, and I'm gonna love it.
I'm thinking there will be some
Disappointment.
sort of like chemical aftertaste.
Oh,
Just
for
like,
Oh,
sure.
yeah, 1000%.
Cheers.
Sláinte to
Sláinte,
good
cheers.
intentions. Make a wish. It tastes like shit.
Oh,
That's
hell
not
no.
good.
That's like licking
It's
paint with a
cinnamony.
mouthful of sugar.
I didn't
I
expect
like
it
it.
to be cinnamony.
It does have a cinnamony bite.
Yeah.
Why is it spicy?
Oh my God, it
Why is it spicy? It tastes like absolute shit.
Wait, I actually like it.
I don't think I've ever heard Dylan's full-on laugh before. It is wonderful. That is fantastic.
I don't
That
want
was
this.
good.
All right, chill out. I don't want this to go up my nose.
Okay.
Keep it down.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to have more.
Why is it spicy?
They did a Matrix Powerade. It was actually pretty good.
This is garbage.
Yeah, I do. I actually really like it.
You know what though? This wouldn't be a terrible mixer.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Dylan's like, I hate you for making me drink this.
Like with vodka, it probably would be like
That
really easy
would
to
make
drink.
it worse.
What are you talking about?
I hate vodka.
The over sugar would kill it. Would crush it.
Costa, run us some vodka right now. You hand me my prop.
Run over here with some vodka. All right, so Beetlejuice, thank you so much
Oh
for
wait,
picking that up for us.
Hey,
I guess.
contains no juice.
0% juice.
Yeah.
Not even Beetle?
No.
Ah,
No, contains no juice. But it is like 400
So the juice
calories.
is not loose.
the juice is, yeah.
No
not
caffeine, no juice.
loose. Just green sugar.
Just green sugar.
I like
Worth it.
You know what I like
Next week. Next week we need to pick up those Coca-Cola Oreos.
Coca-Cola, he sent me. Here's the thing. We like to, Noel and I, will be at whatever store we're at. And if we see something that already exists and has a dumbass flavor attached to it, we'll be like, Fakik. We'll
Yeah.
send each other a picture or we'll buy it.
Weird as hell cereal flavors, seasonal
Yeah.
cereal flavor.
I got Oreos cereal, which is pretty good.
Oreo,
Oreo cereal.
Oreo flavors, weird chip flavors. It's just yeah.
They had Oreo popcorn at the movies. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
When? What?
Yeah, yesterday when I went to see this movie, I was waiting for my snacks. They had my Junior Mints,
Nice.
but I was also getting some regular popcorn, and I saw they had the Doritos popcorn, and then they had a bag that just said Oreos popcorn. And I was already running late for the
It
movie.
was
and
probably just like Oreo dusted sweet popcorn.
Yeah.
Right? Like in
Yeah.
a bag.
So many bubbles.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, there is a on the Regal website. The Regal's social media is doing like this make a snack thing, and it was somebody. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
was it Junior Mints because you hate Junior Mints?
No, it was worse.
Was
it
it
was like
Goobers?
it was all of it,
hates
guys.
Goobers.
It was I just think they're boring.
They're fine.
And it's not even good chocolate.
It's true. I've been ever since we had that conversation like 4 years ago. I've been scouting around for, like, we'll go to the beach and there'll be that chocolate
Like a
store.
real place.
like a real place that makes real chocolate covered.
Oh, like a
peanuts.
fudge shop? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Those like I get that.
Yeah.
But Goobers, they literally turn to dust.
They used to be good when I was little.
Are you sure it's not just my
Pepper
favorite
berries?
my favorite new term, nostalgia bias. Are you sure
Oh,
it's
it
not
may
nostalgia
be
bias?
nostalgia bias.
But it was okay. Popcorn, butter. I was like, okay, that's fine. In layers.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put Skittles.
No.
Then they put nacho cheese, and then more popcorn, and then chocolate, and then nacho cheese, and like it literally was just every fucking thing.
And then you wash it down with some Beetlejuice Fanta.
Yeah. With some Beetlejuice.
But how do you even eat that? Like how do you
With like
even eat that?
around, like a
Yeah.
saddle thing around your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, make it a trough. Yeah.
Yeah, trough. Thank you.
Oh, man. And anyway,
Just
sorry.
have a good cry.
So,
and just
um,
jam it in.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Can I have
Live
this?
on
Let's
air,
go
everybody.
live.
Noel's gonna throw up. Bright green.
All right.
I have like a weird
Beetlejuice
sugar high.
Cereal has become an abomination and an affront to man and God. Food science has gone too far, says Pink.
You know what? I used to not agree with you, but I think a turning moment in my life, not just my flavor palette, but my life, was icy cereal.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's so bad. Are you
Dylan is
Are you
losing
laughing
his
at me because I have
Yeah.
a weight problem?
What
no,
are you talking?
icy. You know, like
cereal?
Slurpee cereal.
Yeah, they made a cereal out
They
of that.
did.
Are you kidding?
And so it's blue and red, little balls.
Yeah.
They taste immediately like blueberry and then strawberry, but then there's like this film that stays on your tongue.
and
of
it's just chemical. Yeah, yeah.
It's delicious.
I mean, that's true to a real icy kind of.
That's also true. Yeah. Anyway, food science.
Anyway,
Back at it.
Beetlejuice came out this week. It was a sequel to. Oh, he did a whole thing. Written by Alfred Goff and Miles Miller and Seth Graham
Smith, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, Monica Bellucci, Willem Dafoe, Danny DeVito, Justin Theroux.
After a family tragedy, 3 generations of the Deetz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter, Astrid, accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife.
Dun, dun, dun,
I know, right?
Well, you've
We've all
opened the
been
portal
there.
to hell by accident with your record. We talked
I
about
wouldn't
that.
say it was by accident.
On purpose.
So Slurpee cereal says vicious marshmallow.
Yeah, dude.
Question mark, exclamation, question mark, exclamation, question
I
mark.
mean, you could emote that. You don't have to.
Slurpee
up.
cereal?
Oh, there we go.
Slurpee cereal.
Anyway, so the trailer came out for this, and I was nervous. There have been a dearth of what we call Lego sequels for the past, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. You doing all right?
Stop torturing yourself. Why do you keep drinking it?
I'm thirsty.
It makes me more thirsty.
I think it's actually drying me out.
I'm sorry to change the subject right in the middle.
I'm gonna turn into a Bob.
You know, you've both seen Stranger Things?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I think it's season 3. Lucas's little
Alexi?
sister.
Oh no, sorry.
Lucas's little sister,
yeah.
whose name I forget. They're trapped in the bunker with just neon green goo, and she tries to drink it. And they're like, "Don't drink that!" And she's like, "I'm gonna die if I don't have water." They're like, "That's not water." That's what we're drinking right now.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna be able to have kids.
So, so I was kind of nervous. I'm kind of losing my taste for the Lego sequel. It's like the screams I liked.
I love Scream.
What's the other one? Indiana Jones.
You dug it.
I liked it a lot, but the further away I get from it, the more I'm like,
Well, welcome to the club.
oh, man.
Halloween? Is Halloween like a sequel?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The first Halloween Ends was dope.
Halloween Ends was dope. Halloween 2018.
I say that, and
H2O
people
was
give me so
good.
much shit for
Wait,
it.
what?
Yeah.
H2O.
Oh, H2O was awesome too. That was
Yeah.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Actually, a better version of that character. I think.
Jurassic World was fun. The other two after it were really weak.
There's
but
like 2 Ghostbusters that don't need to exist.
they're fine.
Yeah, so, but I do like that there has been a Keaton-assance. I like that Michael Keaton has sort of like come back.
It's Kitana-san.
Keaton-assance.
Kitana-san.
Was his first big one coming back in the Spider-Man movie No Way Home?
I think
Was that his first big reappearance?
No, he got a lot of like.
Oh, Birdman. Pfft.
Well, actually, it was like a 1-2 punch of Birdman and the Founder, and he was kind of like back.
Founder was.
He was kind of
great.
like back in the scene, and then signed up for an MCU movie, and it was just.
Yeah,
When
but-
was he
back.
in the? Oh my god! I think it was after Spider-Man. It's a TV show about the drug addiction, and
Oh, it's
Costa loves it.
Dope Sick.
Dope Sick. He was in that.
Oh, he's in Dope Sick?
He was
Is
really
that
good. in Dope
Oh,
Sick, yeah.
shit. I went in with low expectations, and I came out with those met. I felt like it was fine. I have so many problems with the story, the setups, the writing, the decision. A lot of the decisions that are made. It looks great. It looks like they didn't skip a beat between the set design of Beetlejuice and then like they just all had it ready to go for Beetlejuice. Like it just went one to the other. It
Said
looks
it 3 times.
perfect. Oh my god.
And here I am.
Also, that bit in that TV show was really good.
Community.
Community was
Oh
so
my
good.
god, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can feel this in my fillings in my teeth.
I think I can feel it slowly going down to my stomach.
Pink says
I don't know if
always
that's good or not.
absolutely loved Michael Keaton ever since Mr. Mom. Me too. And also Batman.
Same. Yeah.
And this was Beetlejuice 1 came out in 88, which is a year before his Batman came out. So he was on all cylinders back then. So yeah, I think the movie is fine. I have so many questions about why they made certain choices. I think they rely too heavily on callbacks, kind of in the same way that
I want to investigate that a little bit when we get into spoilers because I'm not exactly sure.
Alien Romulus
Didn't see it.
had the one big callback, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I felt like this movie had a couple of those where I was like, oh, okay, there's all right, fine. So yeah,
I don't know.
I wasn't super into it. What did you guys think? No.
Oh, okay.
Surprised you.
I actually really loved the trailers, especially the second one that uses the Bee Gees song. It was just, it made the movie, it made it feel like it was an event more so than lead up to it. I have nostalgia bias for the first movie. I saw it in the drive-in when I was a baby. It was awesome. And I loved the score. So my expectations were, I'm a 42-year-old man who's watched a lot of stuff. My expectations really weren't very high. Yeah. They never are anymore. Yeah, they just aren't. But I walk into a movie hoping for just to be entertained. And if I'm not entertained, I want to know why. And like, I start to investigate it and vice versa. Right. So like somewhere in the middle, during the course of this movie, there were a lot of pieces that I thought I was laughing out loud. I was on the floor. I really, really enjoyed it. And then,
which is gross because the movie theater floor is disgusting.
Well, it's not that bad if you lick it first.
Nice.
You got to build your immunities. You lick your space around you. Yeah. And then
that's
you could roll.
That's how we're raising Kai.
And then you could roll around everything. Yeah. So lick everything, feel nothing.
Yeah.
That's the rules.
Can we change the name of the podcast?
Lick everything, feel nothing.
It's too late.
Yeah.
The show.
Episode 98. Lick it. And then segments are like, should you lick it? Should you not lick it?
If a problem comes along, should you lick it?
That's the theme song. Yeah.
The answer is always yes.
So my expectations were really nowhere. I just wanted to have fun. I have not enjoyed Tim Burton really the last 15 years.
Yes.
Same. It just feels like everyone that was involved with this movie or would have been involved with this movie had kind of lost a stride, and it seemed like they were all incredibly excited about this movie. Yeah. So I just was like, at the very least, I'm going to watch people have fun. Mm-hmm. That's what I got. There was a handful of really, really great sequences. There's 2 or 3 jokes that I couldn't breathe because they were so specific, esoteric jokes that I don't think anyone else in the theater around me understood.
You may have to explain it to me too.
Well, like just some music,
spoilers,
some song choices, and some like visual references. It's just like nice.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make me like a special viewer. It's just
song choice thing I got to bring up later.
It doesn't make me a special viewer. It's just like I think that's the frequency that Burton was kind of functioning on. I don't think he gives a shit if general audiences had fun with this. He was like, I'm having fun with my friends. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly overstuffed. There's 4 extra subplots. There's a lot of waste on the screen.
Yep.
But I still had fun with it. Mm-hmm. And when I think about it, I think about the sequences I really liked, not about the things I didn't like, which meets that threshold of, if it wasn't good, did I still enjoy it, and why? Like, does that outweigh the rest? If it was just mid or bad, then it'd be easy. But there were so many like things I really liked that the stuff that I thought was a waste or useless, it's fine. Okay. Because I had fun.
Great.
At the end of the day, I just had fun.
At the end of the day, that's what you need. Alice.
I also had fun. I liked it, didn't love it, but like, I had a good time going.
Good, keep going.
And yeah, I had a good time seeing it. I agree with it being overstuffed and the subplots and everything, but it still felt like Beetlejuice. And I never got to see the original Beetlejuice, one of my favorite movies. I never got to see it in theaters. So I was like really excited. I was like, oh, I get to go see like a Beetlejuice movie in theaters. Like, and the opening credits started and it was, I don't know. It just felt, I was like, oh, cool. I get to
You were like in on it.
I was in.
The music started. You're like, I'm in.
I'm in.
Same old Geffen logo. Same title font.
I was in, and I still,
the glowy text.
And it had the same like beginning, like the score was different, but it had the same starting music of the Scooter.
Did Danny Elfman do the score?
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
And I loved, there were some bits that I loved that we'll get into in spoilers that I thought were really good. I talked last week about it. I loved the practical effects of Beetlejuice.
There's a lot of them.
So good.
And there's still, I was really excited for this movie, but I was nervous. I was like, I don't think they're going to do it, but like, I hope they don't lean too much into CGI. I hope they stick with like practical effect stuff. And they did.
There's tons of CGI in the movie too.
But it's like,
it's employed incredibly well to cover the seams of the practical.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was well done. So I said I had fun, liked it, didn't love it. But I am gonna watch it again, and I feel like maybe I'll appreciate it more on the rewatch.
I also want to revisit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I went by myself. Costa wasn't able to make it, and I want him to experience it too, and I want to watch it with him.
Sam, there you go. She actually just jumped in the chat. I was going to speak for her. I'm sorry. She says, I walked out hating this movie. The next morning, we watched the original the other day.
Mm-hmm.
After a few days, I've decided it's fine. It's cute. It's funny. But I did find it overstuffed in plot.
Yeah.
We did watch the original like 2 nights ago, and I had did you revisit it before this one?
Not like right before this one, but I've watched it recently.
Know the movie by heart, but in the context of this one, it is an incredibly random movie with very loose rules and isn't super concerned with like connecting dots.
Sure.
It's an incredibly random movie. And I think they went a little too hard with that on this one.
Yeah.
Because that was a random movie, but it was streamlined random. This is like, wouldn't it be cool if? Wouldn't it be cool if?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if without actually connecting those dots?
Yeah.
It's just, there's 3 movies that happen at the same time during this flick.
So this movie, Beetlejuice, and then how we get to Beetlejuice, feels like the first movie. Remember Ghostbusters, and how
Never heard of it.
The way they made that movie, like there was a script, right, and there was a plot, but so much of that is improv, and then just kind of them having fun, that it's almost kind of crazy that they made such a good movie that way.
Yeah.
This may not be the case at all. This may be like, read your line, move to that spot, do that line. I don't know how the original Beetlejuice was made, but it feels similar to me, whereas the first one had lightning in a bottle. Everyone was sort of on off cylinders. And then this one just feels like the writers are trying too hard. And they're adding too many things. And I know you have to, up your stakes, but like you also have to have stakes. If you up them, they also have to have stakes. Like, they present so many things that are like, what's that going to happen with there? Ooh, what's going on over here? Oh my goodness, how's this all going to tie to? They're gone. Okay. Cool.
We also talked about before we get into spoilers. I'll say this if anybody wants to stop, because we are going to spoil the shit out of this movie. The writers are. We talked about this earlier today. The writers are television writers.
Yeah. They brought us Smallville.
And
What is that?
Wednesday most recently.
Yeah, that was cute. I liked Wednesday.
Like the way that they tell stories often function off of multiple plot lines that kind of merge together because they have to facilitate multiple sequences, multiple episodes. This movie literally had enough plot for a season's worth of television because we had 1, 2, 3, 4 different antagonists.
Classic.
That weren't connected to each other at all other than via Beetlejuice. But he was also his own antagonist to the story that's happening in the living space. But then Astrid had her own antagonist as well as a separate goal from that antagonist to find out about her father. It's a lot of fucking movie.
Yeah.
They rammed through it all and closed all the loops, but they did it in a way that made me like I had no emotional connection to half of it.
Yeah.
So it was like cool.
Satisfied by
set it up, knocked it off. Set it up, knocked it off. Cool. Could have gone away with it.
Even with the main plot of Beetlejuice, when that went, I was like, what just happened? Why did that happen? Oh, okay. All right. I guess the movie's over. Oh no, there's more. Cool. So I find myself getting more annoyed as I'm talking about it, actually. Should we get into?
I'm finding myself getting less annoyed the more I'm thinking about it.
Great.
So
That's
I'm
awesome.
Like, oh.
Yeah, I was like you're up there with Sam because we literally talked about it on the way. Dissatisfied is the word. We literally talked about it on the way home, and both of us were like, "Yeah, that could have gone away. Yeah, this. Yeah, that." And then by the end of the drive, it was like, "But this was really fun, and this part was really funny, and that was really cool."
That's great.
And then a day later, it was just like, "I think I kind of liked it."
That's fun.
I left
I'm
liking
glad.
it. I don't think I'm ever gonna like. I mean, no worry, I'm gonna love it as much as the original, but like.
It's not possible.
No.
And there's something about Beetlejuice. Remember, we were having a conversation on Fresh Floppies about characters who they're great when they show up and then go away.
Yeah.
But if you have a whole series about them, it's like, oh, okay. We were talking about specifically about Wolverine. So when Wolverine is on a X-Men team, great.
He's a good foil.
Great. He's good foil. When he's the only character in the main title, I'm like, I don't care about this at all. So I had similar thought. Yes. Punisher, Hulk. I had similar thoughts about Beetlejuice, the character. In the first movie, he shows up and he is a whirling dervish. He never stops moving. He's spitting in something. He's constant joke, right? Or being gross. It's a
My
gag a
favorite
minute.
line is The Exorcist. Like,
Yeah. About
Find it funnier
167
every
times.
single
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I thought you meant
Live
when
through
his
the black
head
flame,
starts
had
to
a good
spin and
time
he's
doing
like,
it.
"Ugh."
No.
So
when he's,
he just doesn't. He's a cartoon and it doesn't stop bouncing. There's like scenes where he's just like leaning on a desk and having a conversation with a police officer. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right to me. It just he's the guy who shows up, not the guy who's just there having a conversation. So I think that was a little bit of my disconnect as well. It just felt strange, you know.
I don't know if I shared that. I shared that physicality and the way he approached the character in the first one, but I always imagined him or got the impression that he's more of like a car salesman.
Yeah, for sure.
But not holding any actual kind of status of or hierarchy of power in the afterlife. He's just a piece of shit that wiggles through things. So him being called to a cop, I mean, I get that. Like that didn't break the caricature of Beetlejuice for me. But
He was just
to your point,
I'm like he's sitting on a desk.
he's
He's just like leaning on a desk having a conversation. This feels so weird.
but he was Oh, are you talking about the interrogation scene or his office?
His office.
He's running,
And also the interrogation.
he's running a Ponzi scheme of Bob's.
Yeah.
And actually, they're not all named Bob, right? Like there's
they're
a
all different names.
Just
and I
Chad,
loved every single
Bob,
one.
Bill,
Just the name
Steve.
Bob. Yeah.
He's running a Ponzi scheme. Like
Yeah.
he's doing horrible
Yeah.
middle management shit. So I didn't. It didn't read false to me.
Okay.
I don't agree. But let's do spoilers. Let's
Yeah,
get
let's
into
do
spoilers.
it. So we're gonna get
Spoilers.
spoilers right now. Get out of here if you don't want to hear them,
Or
but also
stay.
just hang around because it's Beetlejuice.
Just keep us on mute.
nothing.
Look at our
Not much is
pretty
gonna
faces.
surprise you. Overstuffed.
Overstuffed. Yeah. So Monica Bellucci's entire plot line had no bearing on what happens in the movie whatsoever.
That bothered me
Whatsoever.
so much because I was so hyped when her character was introduced
Yeah.
and
What a-
stapled herself together.
What a great intro to her character.
It was so good. And the callback to the first movie with the ring finger. Like,
oh my God! The
Wait,
ring
hang
finger.
on.
That was. I didn't even catch that.
I thought the same thing, but she had all her fingers.
it crawled slowly back to her because he throws it. Doesn't he throw it in the original? And it's
Yeah,
like,
but
it's not in the box with her. I didn't think. I thought.
I
just,
thought
like,
it was. I
slowly
thought it was
crawled.
totally in the box with her. And
I didn't. I don't know. Maybe it
because
was.
I would have loved it if for the whole movie she had no
Yeah,
ring finger.
from the first movie, they
She
should've done
has
that.
it, but it's also way more decayed than the rest of her. It's like
Really?
blackened.
Oh,
yeah.
Dope.
that must be it.
Okay,
That's awesome.
dope.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
catch.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that was like the coolest sequence in the
She
movie.
was so cool, and the practical effect of her sucking the soul out of someone and them just accordioning up and then falling, so good. The practical effects of that is so fantastic. I was
Yeah, she was wonderful, but her
didn't-
plot line, she is just a shark, basically.
This is the mad arms.
She's she's basically just she has the functionality of a shark swimming through water in the entire afterlife. Beetlejuice maybe has one sequence where he actively evades her, but other than that, she has no bearing up until the very, very end, and then is dispatched incredibly quickly.
so
and-
fast.
I also I would love to explore her more as a character. I wish they did, but I feel like they had her there to really try to get Beetlejuice to want to marry Lydia, but he already
did.
wanted
Also,
to marry her.
There was no. Yeah, that's just it too. So like, our main antagonist should be Beetlejuice. We have an antagonist in the afterlife. We have an antagonist in the living world.
Justin Theroux,
Yeah, so who's like the Otho
sleazy
character.
guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Rory.
And he also gets the plot rolling by making her say the words.
Yeah.
So like he is the antagonist on the outside, Beetlejuice on the inside. You could have brought all of that together with just one of those plots, and I think
Yes.
it should have been the daughters. So major disconnect between the two of them because she thinks that her mother's full of shit, meets a boy, the boy is dead, tricks her, and has to get Beetlejuice's help. That is such a
loved
simple
that.
movie.
Yes.
And that was my favorite like plot that
Yeah,
was in the
same.
middle of all of it because
And I clocked he was dead pretty quick, but I was still like
So
stoked
great.
to see what they did with
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was dead. As soon as he takes her up to his bedroom and they pass the parents, one's in the kitchen, one's on the chair. We don't see either of them, like they're both dead. And Sushan goes, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
Turns out we were both right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he said the thing about like I'll be here tomorrow, don't worry about the fence, my parents won't even notice. I was like, this bitch is dead.
Yeah.
Which-
and then when they walk into the house, even before you see the parents, there's dead plants.
But I also didn't know if he was nefarious. It was just
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
think I didn't
That
catch
was
that.
I didn't see coming either. I like that a lot.
all of that was awesome because thematically that connects the mother to the daughter, the mother to her stepmother, and then facilitates needing to bring Beetlejuice into the whole ordeal. And it could easily connect with the dead father and the this and the that and that. But that was just like speed rounded into the middle.
And it does that trope that a lot of sequels do, which is like, okay, I had an antagonist the first movie, but now in the sequel, I'm going to team up with this antagonist to go against a different antagonist.
Well, but that
I would
that is
like
aligned,
that more.
Yeah.
That's actually aligned with the first one though too, because they
that's not a
facilitate
complaint.
them. Yeah.
That's like I enjoy that. I
Yeah.
always like when that happens.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then
talking
he
about that
betrays
before,
them
no?
at the end. Great.
God. Aquaman 2.
Yeah, great.
I was delighted by that. Those two guys.
Let's revisit that movie. I love that movie.
So yeah.
Yeah, so like the movie's incredibly overstuffed. Agreed wholeheartedly. I still thought the visualization of her character and the whole end sequence and all the special effects were so cool.
Yes.
Okay. And it facilitated my favorite part of the whole fucking movie when he did his old Italian giallo movie dream sequence or background.
That was fun.
I was dying. The people behind us didn't get what the hell was going on. And I'm like, this is a joke for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This entire 10-minute sequence is for me.
Yeah.
I meant me in the theater. Yeah. That kind of stuff I really appreciated.
I like that a bit, especially when he comes out of it. Like, they go to a flashback and then they come out of it and he's still talking Italian.
Yeah.
In that
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And also, I respect that they did different things with this film. In the beginning, there's a whole stop motion sequence, right,
I
about the
thought that
dad.
was so fun. Oh my god, I love how they handled the actor's name, who I forget, who plays
pedophile.
who plays Charles Deetz. How they handled him in the afterlife.
Yeah.
It was
I thought it was so fun.
the animation
him.
sequence and in the afterlife I loved. I would have loved not seeing his fucking face on the
Yeah, that
tombstone
I
the whole
could have
time.
done without. I didn't
because
think they needed
I
that.
know too much.
Yeah.
And I know that they have to pay for his likeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Gross.
in 10 other scenes his face is there
Yeah.
and I'm like, God damn it, just
In the stop motion, they actually look pretty much like him too.
Yeah.
I think it would have been funny if, because they started with the stop motion and you never quite see him, if the picture on his tombstone was also the stop motion version of him.
That would,
I mean that would have tracked
That
for a
would have
Tim
been-
Burton movie.
Right?
Yeah.
That would have been fun. And they would have to pay him.
yeah, I love that it was the plane crash. Oh my god, he died in the plane crash? No. And then it hit the water and he lived. He drowned? No. And then the survivors were going to see him. And then a shark got him.
Yeah,
and then he's just, in the afterlife, just shark bite chomped at the top. Oh
Yeah,
my god, I love that.
And I loved that the movie was these three women, basically as two of them escaping incredibly toxic relationships, but then also finding each other. Like my favorite evolution between the movies was that Lydia and Delia have an incredibly healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And they were very much at odds. Even the whole thing with like, and your mother, God rest her soul, like my mom's still alive.
My mom isn't dead.
I liked,
funny.
there was so much like really charming, fun stuff in here that even though I know logistically the movie's a fucking mess, I still kind of had fun with it.
I had so much fun, yeah.
I'm glad. One other thing
Danny's
did
like, I did not.
So,
I'm glad you fucking idiot.
when I don't know when this occurred to me, but I think it was pretty early in the movie where I was like, why is Lydia Deetz still dressing the same and doing her hair exactly the same as she did when she was 16 years old? 30 years later, she's still doing the exact same bangs, the same outfits. It just, hasn't grown as a character. They Bart Simpsoned her. Bart Simpson always has the same, red and blue outfit on, and he just never changes it. And it's just like, oh, okay, 30 years later, she's still just the same 16-year-old girl, except without any agency now. She used to be like really fun and sassy and like going against the grain, and here she's just like kind of mopey and sad. And I understand why.
Okay.
I understand, the trauma of her husband and all that other stuff, and she's being groomed by Justin Theroux. But also, it just doesn't. It's kind of icky. It's just like, well, I wish she had. I want to see her growth, and there isn't any.
I did like that she wasn't acting like the Lydia that we know from the original, but they did address it too with Delia saying, what happened to the obnoxious little goth girl who used to torment me.
I mean,
at least they acknowledge.
I think that's her journey in this movie.
Yeah.
The fact that she has regressed because of the shit ton of trauma that she experienced and has been groomed and medicated and plastered all over the public as who she is. She has no agency anymore. And that's her that's her struggle. That's her story. I personally don't think it was ruining the character. Also, I know a lot of people at this age who still look like, and I was going to say like both of us. Come on.
Shut up.
Yeah. Let's not throw stones. And
damn it.
when you're 40 something,
I still dress like
you're going
to, I still love a fun graphic tee.
Very believable to me. But also too, the idea of her being in this kind of like disassociated state of Arrested Development after all of the fucking trauma that she had to deal with. I really believed it. I did.
Even if it was like she grew up and became slightly more normal, right? Like she just, and then had to be a character for her ghost hunting show. And that was like the outfit for her ghost hunting show or something like that. It just felt like.
Well, do we know it wasn't? Because she immediately went after her dad died while she was on the show.
It's my headcanon now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Well, we do see her in pictures where she's pregnant. And she's,
the universe that Tim Burton builds, I don't know if we should apply realism to it. Yeah, it's literally just like all very, very aesthetically cartoonish and or exaggerated elements. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't take me out of it so much. I could see Lydia being like the goth girl who just like it was never a phase mom.
And her mental, I don't know, her current mental state or her issues with her daughter were, I think, very valid. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with that. I just had a problem with.
What do you guys think of we've totally skipped over
Jenna Ortega. She's in this movie.
Jenna Ortega. I
thought she was great.
She's in this movie. She doesn't do anything terrible.
Yeah,
great.
I thought she was great. I
like the scene where she calls out Sleazoid guy.
Oh my god, yeah.
At the house.
I love him as an antagonist too because it's the nice guy trope. Like, no, but I'm one of the good ones, and it's like, no, you're not.
He's so
you
gross.
think you are.
He's so creepy.
Yeah, you think you're doing all this, but you're
that's
not.
true. Yeah, but at the ending of the first film, says Sam in the chat, she was out of the goth outfits and going to the school for girls.
But it was a uniform.
Yeah, it was a uniform.
She got good grades. Speaking of, what a delightful ending. When I think of Beetlejuice, I always think of her being lifted in the foyer and dancing in midair to
I don't know.
Shake Sonora, whatever it is.
Sure. I don't know the name of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And the song choices were so great. The dance was so great. And then they did it again here, and I was like, cool. I don't know this song. This is going on way too long. I can't believe this is still happening. When they zoom in on him, and he's playing the guitar, he's real small. He's like, what is it, like a Bryan Adams song or something?
Yeah.
Bryan Adams, yeah. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
But then
that's so good.
This song and dance sequence was like, oh, okay, this is cute.
Yeah, it was the wedding, and she wore the same wedding dress.
Still going.
That's
cool.
I thought it was great.
I liked it.
MacArthur Park, 2 versions of it that they intercut together. Have you listened to both versions of the song?
No.
There's like a Donna Summer song, and then I forget the name of the artist.
Okay, very brief story. Sushan and I went to go see Beetlejuice the other night, and we had to work a little bit later, so we got there a little bit later. And I was like, doesn't matter. There's going to be like 35 minutes of trailers. Don't worry about it. When we got there and we sat down, and it's the scene where Danny DeVito is knocking over the caskets and she staples herself together. And I was like, oh, great. Cold open. We're meeting the foil of the film. This is how a lot of movies start.
20 minutes.
We didn't miss a beat. We missed 20 minutes of beat, apparently. So I went today to go watch the original or the first 20 minutes again for the first time. So I finally was able to catch up.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, you didn't miss much, Sushan.
I don't know.
I liked it.
We were talking about song choices for the movie.
That's what it was. Thank you. When she is let loose because Danny DeVito hits the water.
Bee Gees.
That's
Tragedy.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Like top 3 Bee Gees songs.
The end of the movie where it's like a dream within a dream within a dream. Did you recognize the song that was playing? Because I sat up in my seat and I was like, because it's from one of my other favorite movies.
No.
Carrie. It was the Carrie theme.
That's right.
Did not get that at all.
That's right.
I almost wore a Carrie shirt tonight, but I thought the stripes were more on brand.
Wow, what a good pull. Good on
I
you.
like sat up in my seat because I was like, okay, well, I had a feeling none of this was real, but now I know none of this is real because they replay the Carrie theme at the end of Carrie when the survivor wakes up from a nightmare.
Awesome.
That's the joke.
Yep.
I didn't
Son
get
of
it
a
until
bitch.
she said it on the way here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It was a
awesome.
reference that I just
It
didn't
was.
clock.
I was so excited that I got it. I was like, and I triple checked. Like before I drove home, I like sat in the car and I was like, I'm making sure that's the song that I heard because I'm gonna forget when I get home. And I was
I just picture you doing the Leonardo DiCaprio.
literally. Oh, man.
I actually made that joke online today. Yeah, I think it was Mike Rothman who said something about the movie, and I was just like, during the whole Italian sequence, I made both Leonardo DiCaprio meme faces.
Nice.
Both the and the you have my attention.
You have my attention.
with
yeah.
the-
Because honestly, that happened. Like it was like, ooh, okay,
Yeah.
you have my attention. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot to like about this movie. But whereas you look back and go, oh, there's a lot I like about this movie, I look back and go, oh, there's a lot that didn't work for me in this movie. Yeah, just the fact that she just gets immediately swallowed up by a sandworm as soon as she shows up. Like there's no, and I was saying this to you on the way here. If it was set up to be a punchline of like, oh my God, oh she's coming, and then it's like a bit where she gets dispatched so quickly, like, oh, okay, they meant to do that, it's funny. But it doesn't read like that to me. It just felt like, what do we do now? Sandworm. You know, it didn't really feel like a bit. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think it was supposed to be a bit.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, we're just like, we don't know what to do. We got to get rid of her. Yeah.
I mean, it ultimately Tim Burton wanted to include it, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's more good than bad, but I wouldn't. I mean, will they make a third one? I'd see it, sure.
Oh, well, I didn't know this, but I was listening to another show today, and they're saying like it made over 100 million already.
Yeah.
It's doing
Crushing it.
gangbusters.
It's doing very, very well. So yeah, I can see them making
I'm a
another
little
one.
sad I didn't get the popcorn bucket with the sandworm.
The sandworm popcorn
So
bucket.
cool.
I'm glad it wasn't there personally.
Oh, because you would have spent $35.
And I don't
need
I don't
it.
know what the fuck I'd do with it.
Although I get the alien one, and he's just hanging out in my shop, the xenomorph.
I don't have any shelf space left for that shit.
Well,
say something else.
oh,
I
go
forgot.
ahead.
No, I forget what it was, so it's fine.
would everyone just stare at her until she says what she was gonna say? Pressure. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara was awesome.
Oh, yes. Oh,
She
that's
was
what I was going to
delightful.
say. Sam said something in a previous comment. Catherine O'Hara was still fabulous.
Yeah. She's
but
so
she
good.
did feel very Schitt's Creek. And I know there's
Oh.
a fine line between Moira Rose and Delia Deetz. They do read very similar. But I had the same thought. And I was like, but I have also been rewatching Schitt's Creek. So I'm like, maybe it's just because she's fresh in my
You're
mind.
just in the Schitt's Creek
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
There also, I think, was a Crows nod, like from Schitt's Creek, how her character's in the movie The Crows, when
Oh.
you're in her art gallery and they're like going to flash to like the stop motion thing. It's her, she's like doing a whole self-portrait thing, and it's like her like pretending to fly like a crow, and there's
Yeah.
crows around her.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Nice.
that has to be a Schitt's Creek nod, right? Like, yeah.
And also, at least I love her accent in Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
The way she talks is so
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All
You
right.
just fold it in, David.
Anything else?
Fold in
done?
the cheese.
Fold it in.
Fold in the cheese.
Fold it in.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of Beetlejuice.
We don't know what we're doing next week, so.
Well, we know one thing we're doing.
Do we?
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
Make it a surprise.
So here's the low down and dirty. There's a movie that came out several years ago called
Speak no evil.
Speak No Evil. It's a Swedish film.
It smells.
Swedish
Smells.
And
the bottom of the
it-
can
Wanna
smells
sniff
weird,
it.
right?
It fucked me
Love
up.
it.
Dylan.
I watched it by myself.
you were doing- oh, yeah,
several
what's
years
up?
ago, and it fucked me up. The ending really got to me. I didn't think it got to me. I was like, oh, that was weird. And then I went to bed. And then every night for like 3-4 months, I was like, it would just pop in my head, and it just kind of kept me awake. And I would just sit there and just spiral about it. I have not had that reaction to a movie in a very long time. All of that is to say, because I have a very specific trigger when it comes to children. All of that is to say is that they have done a remake, an American remake of it. That's coming out this week. And I am so curious about it because it's got a wonderful cast, but also it's American. So I'm of the mind that they will probably soften the ending or change it in such a way that it's not quite what we got originally. So I'm curious enough that I want to see it, but I'm also a little nervous. That's the question.
I just don't really care.
Yeah.
Okay.
As in, like, I've seen the preview roughly 7 billion fucking times.
The first
Yeah.
movie is mostly in English anyway.
Yeah.
And also,
Because
it didn't come out that long ago.
2022.
Yeah, like why?
It's kind of impressive they made a remake so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, the first one explicitly is about, it's basically like cringe horror.
Yeah.
They're slowly making these people uncomfortable, and the horror is the fact that they're incapable of establishing boundaries.
Yeah. Have you
That's it.
have you ever seen All My Friends Hate Me?
No.
I think I might be butchering the name, but it's something along the lines of that. It is very similar to where the whole creepy aspect of it is just everyone's behavior, and you're just so unsettled and unsure.
Okay.
Kind of
See,
thing.
that kind of stuff usually pisses me off.
Oh, I like
Because
it.
it's
I
like
I like it.
it leans into vibes, and I think vibes should support a point, not be the point. Usually.
Heard. Yeah.
So like if it's
Heard,
more than a short film, it's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Just to like watch you stare at your belly button?
That was the
Like,
movie
why am I here?
A couple weeks ago.
What?
The black and white movie.
Oh yeah, like why? Why are we doing this?
So we haven't decided if we're going to be talking about that next week, but we might.
It's literally being advertised so much.
Honestly, yeah.
I've seen a lot of. I haven't seen the trailer that many times, but I have seen online people are complaining about how much they're seeing.
It
the
has
trailer.
it has been in front of every single movie I've seen in like the last
I've skipped a lot
All
of trailers.
summer.
6 months.
All summer.
All
yeah.
summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is coming out soon. No, it's 4 months away, but it was still in front of every movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for hanging